report is a very quality report, but the problem appears the same. So the answers they give us and recommendation appears like they are generic, but it's the department that are not doing the right work. So even in the county, in the executive, we have auditors that are being paid, and the report they give are such queries from the Auditor General. It only means there is someone who is not taking their job seriously. It is not like Mheshimiwa Ngunga will say, we have turned an house to be a house of academic papers. I do not think it is necessary we continue receiving a report with the same recommendation and the executive is not doing anything. So it is time the house decides. Someone takes responsibility for these queries we are finding in our audit reports. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much for that observation. All the time, the recommendations are the same. They are replica all the time. Everything is just the same. So, members, I think it's important we observe that and ask the department concerned to come up with a better way of reporting, or even reporting the right things. Thank you. I think we can end it there, and I call upon the mover on the motion to come forward and reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and those at large. I would like to thank the members for supporting the report, and also, as I informed you last week, that you are really working to bring our reports, and now we are having 2 reports. In the evening, we are going to have another report here, and we have already started to interrogate 2024, and 2025 will be received next year, January. So I can say that my committee is doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other issue is about you are raising about that the reports, they look almost similar. But we as a committee, we receive the queries from the auditors, and we discuss what is brought to the committee. So we have to comment according to what we have received. Madam Speaker, I would like to reach there and thank the entire House. Thank you very much.
I now put the question that, pursuant to Standing Order 185, this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on financial statements of County Executive Receiver of Revenue for the year ended 30th June 2023, laid on the table of the House Tuesday, 8th July 2025. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. Aye. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9. Motion. Approval of inquiry report on the statement regarding grievances of Machakos Matatu operators.
At this point, may I invite Honorable Mwoki Musila, Chairperson Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee, to come forward and present the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 190, I wish to move the motion that this Assembly adopts Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee inquiry report on the statement regarding grievances of Machakos Matatu operators tabled in the Assembly on Wednesday, 16th July 2025. Thank you. And at this juncture, I would request Honorable Dominic to second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now propose the question that this Assembly adopts the Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee inquiry report on the statement regarding grievances of Machakos Matatu operators tabled in the Assembly on Wednesday, 16th July 2025. Before I invite members to debate the motion, I request the mover to highlight on the report.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In doing so, I would request that I do the introduction to the statement. And I know the members have this document with them. I'll go then and do background information on the inquiry. And I will do the committee observation and findings, committee recommendations, and the acknowledgement and conclusion. So with your permission, Madam Speaker.
Can proceed.
I proceed, thank you. Honorable Speaker, the fourth schedule, part 2, section 5 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides the functions and powers of county governments, which include county roads, public road transport, traffic and parking, street lighting and ferries and harbors, excluding the regulation of international and national shipping and matters related thereto. Public road transport, particularly the Matatu subsector, plays a fundamental role in the daily lives of Machakos residents. Matatus remain the dominant mode of transport, offering affordable, accessible, and flexible mobility to both urban and rural population. They facilitate economic activity by connecting people to markets, workplaces, schools, and health facilities. Their role in supporting livelihoods through direct and indirect employment cannot be overstated. With this battling potential, there are challenges facing Matatu and other public transport operators in Machakos. Among them include inadequate parking terminals facilities, frequent disputes with enforcement bodies, and frequent conflicts with other small transport operators, such as Maruti and Tuk-Tuk over the routes and picking and dropping points. The emergent and rapid growth of small transport operators, such as Tuk-Tuks and Marutis, has further reshaped the county's transport landscape. These operators serve essential functions, especially in accessing areas with narrow or unpaved roads. However, their interaction with Matatu operators has sometimes been marked by competition and misunderstanding rather than structured collaboration. With this, the committee has been steered to look into the need for a balanced, inclusive, and sustainable transport ecosystem. Therefore, this committee sought to examine the challenges facing public road transport operators in Machakos and the interplay between such various operators within the county. The objective of this report is therefore to provide recommendations that promote harmonious coexistence, operational efficiency, and improve service delivery across the transport sector. Page 6, background information on the inquiry. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 41(2)C states that a member may request for a statement from the committee chairperson relating to matters under the mandate of the committee, and the Speaker may either appoint a day for the statement or direct that the statement be issued on the same day. Pursuant to the above standing order, Honorable Alphonse Zioka, MCA, Kiva Ward, during an assembly sitting held on 26 November 2024, sought a statement from the county government on the issues raised by the Matatu operators in Machakos Park during their demonstration held on 19 November 2024, and the actions taken by the relevant departments to address the grievances. The statement was committed to the Committee on Transport, Roads and Public Works to respond to the member pursuant to Standing Order 41(2)D. To respond to the statement, the committee requested information from the Chief Officer, Roads and Transport and Department, responded by their letter with that one, dated 28 November 2024. However, the seeker was not satisfied and the statement was recommitted to the committee to conduct an inquiry, invite all the relevant stakeholders, and compile a report for tabling in the House. Honorable Speaker, the matter was tabled to the committee during a committee sitting held on 17th February 2025, and the committee resolved to do an inquiry report on this matter for the purpose of making recommendations to the House on the way forward on the subject matter once the report is adopted by the House. Maybe at that, I would just mention the organizations that we invited. One was the Machakos Matatu Owners Association, that's MAMOA. There was Mr. Clinton Wambua, the chairperson of the K Prestige Circle. Then we went to invite other circles not represented in MAMOA. We also invited Maruti and Tuk-Tuk operators. And lastly, we also invited the CCM, Transport, Roads and Public Works. And lastly, we invited the Chief Officer, Department of Transport and Roads. Committee, I'm on page 16, Committee Observations and Findings, page 16. Honorable Speaker, after interrogating various stakeholders, the committee made the following findings. 1, the committee established that the conflict and demonstrations observed in the bus park on 19th November 2024 emanated from the Matatu operators agitating for the exit of Marutis and Tuk-Tuks from the bus park. The Matatu operators alleged unfair competition from Marutis and Tuk-Tuks since they plied the two Matatus despite being classified as PSV taxis in the Traffic Act. 2, the key concerns raised during the MAMOA demonstration haven't been resolved to date. This includes congestion in the bus park, perceived unfair competition of Matatu by Maruti and Tuk-Tuk, and lack of clearly designated pickup and drop-off points for the Maruti and Tuk-Tuks. 3, the term Mashimo in reference to the county bus park in Machakos town refers to picking and dropping slots for passengers and are allocated through application to the County Transport and Safety Committee, which is chaired by the CCM, Department of Roads, Transport and Public Works, and has 2 representatives from the Matatu operators. After one's application is received, a letter of no objection for an operator to access and use the bus park is issued. 4, the letter of non-objection by the Department of Roads and Transport serves as official permission for public service vehicle to operate from the bus park. However, this letter does not specify the exact picking and dropping slots leading to confusion and disputes among the operators over the designated spaces. 5, that circle chairpersons are responsible for collecting parking fees from their members and remitting the funds to the county government through a mobile phone application provided by the county government. 6, that the national and county legislation governing public transport services in Machakos, among them being the 3 acts passed by the Assembly, the Machakos County Designated Parking Places Act 2015, the Machakos County Commuter Motor Vehicle Act 2015, and the Machakos County Non-Motorized Vehicle Act 2016 have not been implemented fully. 7, the main challenge facing the transport management in the county is inadequate picking and dropping of slots within the existing bus park to accommodate the increasing number of PSVs. 8, the increased competition for the limited slots in the bus park has repeatedly led to allegations of corruption in the allocation process as raised by one of the stakeholders during the engagement session. However, the accused denied the allegation. Item 9, committee recommendations, that is page 17. Honorable Speaker, the committee therefore recommends as follows. 1, that the county government should identify and allocate space for construction of more pickup and drop-off points to accommodate the increasing demand by Matatus in the Masako bus parks. 2, that the Masako bus park slots should be clearly marked and the letter of no objection issued by the department contain the specific slots number allocated to each SACCO. Three, to address the issue of congestion in Masako Bus Park, the department should reserve the bus park for the vehicles plying long routes and identify alternative spaces to designate picking and dropping slots for the Marutis and tuk-tuks. Further, the department should put in place future expansion plans as vehicles are increasing each day, hence the need for more space. Four, further, to address the challenge of inadequate pickup and drop-off points for the growing number of public service vehicles, the Department of Roads and Transport should consider allowing various SACCOs to negotiate with private business entities such as petrol station operators to lease space for use as operational terminal. Once such agreements are in place, the department can officially designate these leased locations as recognized pickup and drop-off points. 5, the Department of Transport and Roads should prioritize enforcement of 3 existing acts governing transport operations within the county. These include the Machakos County Designated Parking Places Act 2015, the Machakos County Commuter Motor Vehicle Act 2015, and the Machakos County Non-Motorized Vehicles Act 2016. In addition, the department should undertake a comprehensive review to identify any gaps or emerging challenges within these legal frameworks, and where necessary, engage relevant stakeholders to develop proposals for legislative amendments to be submitted to the County Assembly for consideration and approval. 6, to minimize potential revenue leakage associated with the current system of parking fees collection, where SACCO chairpersons collect and remit fees to the county treasury through a mobile phone application, the Department of Finance should enhance oversight and accountability mechanism by conducting regular enforcement exercises and spot checks to identify the take action against public service vehicles that have not paid the required fees. These routine crackdowns will serve as both a deterrent and a verification mechanism to ensure full compliance and safeguard the county revenue. 7, to resolve the issue on the perceived unfair competition, the committee recommends the department properly guide public transport operators based on the existing laws on the provision of public vehicle service, including on distances and routes by public transport operators in Machakos. Item 10, acknowledgement and conclusion. Honorable Speaker, the committee is grateful to your office and that of the Clerk of our County Assembly and for the continuous and relentless support throughout the entire process of compiling this report. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to thank the committee members for their dedication during the committee findings. Further, the committee acknowledges the support given by the committee secretariat in the compilation of the report. It is therefore my duty, on behalf of the Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee, to table the inquiry report on the statement regarding grievances of Machako Matatu operators and recommend it to these honorable house for consideration and adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May we debate this matter? Honorable Kavyu, Honorable Brian, Honorable PK.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the report is very clear, as highlighted by the Chair, Transport and Public Works. I think from the explanation that he has provided, I would recommend that we adopt the report as it is, so that we move to the next item. And also, as we had reiterated in the morning, the report is also very flat. When we are giving a recommendation, we should also look for a solution, because as a committee, if they talk of the inadequate space, they should not just stop there. They should be giving us recommendation. Where do they propose? How is that issue of congestion going to be resolved? Because if we just give observation and recommendation without clear specifics, then we are not assisting the problem, because we have enough public spaces within the town. So what the committee should be looking at is what other avenue, because the noise is because of the competition for the limited space at our bus park. So what the committee needs to look at is what other alternative spaces that is available within the town that can be utilized for the same, because we have enough, for instance, like the headquarters here. We have a building at People's Park that has been ongoing for ages, that is supposed to accommodate all the government departments. So the committee should have looked at how that can be fast-tracked. Then this area is vacated to accommodate, to serve as an alternative stage. So thank you very much. I support the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Brian. Honorable Joanna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mheshimiwa Kavia has actually read my mind, and I looked at the composition of that transport committee. It is composed of very competent members who are supposed to give us a very well detailed action plan with solutions. When you say, Bwana Chairman, and I support your report, but you have done a good job. When you say the county should identify and allocate space for construction of more pickups, what we were expecting from you, and Mheshimiwa Ngonga is a member of that committee, is where? Tell us where. You should have engaged the executive. Don't just come and give us motherhood statements like these ones. Tell us where. In fact, I was for that idea. When His Excellency Dr. Alfred Mutua identified People's Park as our alternative area, that is what he had in vision. In his mind, he was looking for how do we expand the town. And what we are asking for is you should have actually negotiated with the Treasury to vacate, to see how we can allocate more money, how we can allocate more money to finish the twin buildings in this year's budget, so that it is not in the report. Don't give me information. You are a member of the committee. Let me tell you. Don't give me information which is not in the report. Where were you when they are doing the report? The twin building which is there, if we allocated more money in this financial year, we can quickly move. You see, why is Machakos losing revenue? Please, Mr. Mungunga, take me seriously. Why is Machakos losing revenue? Why are we having women being chased away from the stores inside here? They cannot even operate. We are having a serious issue and crisis, which is also making the governor look like not in a good face with the wakina mama wale wa maboga. Why are we having that problem? Because we are not strategic in our thinking. What I'm saying is, you should have actually gone with this report. You should have had a meeting with the executive, and quickly we look for money to finalize those buildings. We vacate the treasury. Within this financial year, Mheshimiwa Ngunga, we could have actually collected additional 500 million by vacating that treasury building. So when you are doing reports, members, this house has become a smart house. Give us smart recommendations. And we are going to demand smart recommendations. So as a chair, and I value you, engineer, unaona mbali. Please take up that recommendation, take it further. We quickly, this financial
point of information, Honorable Speaker.
We quickly move and collect
Point of information.
more revenue by expanding the existing
Allow him to
public
finish.
areas so that we can see how we can utilize them. But it's a good report, very good recommendations. Let's go a step further. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'd given an opportunity to Honorable Joanna, then earlier. That is true.
Thank you.
PK an opportunity and he walked out. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand also to support this report from the Committee on Transport and Roads. And Madam Speaker, the purpose of an inquiry is to seek information and possibly also provide a solution. Madam Speaker, I have seen the parties which were invited and the information which was provided. I have also picked that one of the complaints from a stakeholder or an operator like Prestige and Mamoa was unfair competition from the Maruti and Tuk-Tuk operators. Madam Speaker, the same operators from Prestige indicated here that they ply 9 counties. Madam Speaker, the Maruti operators are designated as a PSV taxi, and it is not really indicated, it is not very clear from the committee on the radius acceptable.
Okay.
The radius within which the Marutis are supposed to operate. Madam Speaker, of late, because there are so many Marut operating between Machakos and Mutituni route, I have been receiving so many calls arising from arrests of the Maruti operators. And one issue is, one challenge is on the drop and pick-up points. They have no designated drop-off and pick-up points, yet whenever you attempt to drop anywhere or pick, you are arrested the next moment. I would term that as the most unfair. That is, I would say that is quite unfair to the Marut operators. And as alluded by the former speakers, an inquiry should have provided solutions. Going forward, where are the Marut operators going to be picking and dropping? Going forward, what is the radius of the Maruti operators? Because Mamoas have been harassing. And even I don't know whether it is collusion that even most of the operators who are arrested most are the Marut operators. Madam Speaker, even as for other reports which pass through this assembly, the implementation of the recommendations has really become a challenge. I would personally seek, after you have given your way forward, that very soon I'll also seek a statement to know the extent to which the recommendations of this inquiry have been implemented. I am very passionate about the Maruti operators because monopoly is also a disadvantage. If the Mamoa and the others were allowed to dominate this town, I am sure the convenience we get from the Marutis would really bring about, that is, it would bring us a lot of challenges. So we should be able to plan properly and accommodate each of the categories of those operators. Maruti should be given a proper radius, because I hire a taxi sometimes even to Masi and nobody questions. I hire a taxi to Mitaboni, but I have had cases where the Mamoa operators have deflated tires of some Marutis. And that is not really within the law, and unless we assist the Marut people and the other operators through this assembly, in conjunction with the county executive, I think the maandamano and the like will never end. So we need to have some order, we need to provide a solution, we need to give direction as the assembly, as an assembly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Ngunga, Honorable Mulinge.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to say and inform, I don't know whether that member is here, but I wanted to, for record purposes, because I sit in this committee,
And this committee has three components in it. We have transport, we have roads, and we have public works. And Madam Speaker, if members recall, we were able to lobby and have 139 million apportioned for the tall, thin building, meaning that that building is supposed to be finished in the next maybe a few months. We are going to have a site visit to pressurize so that that building is finished, so that we can have all our departments put in one place. That will now give us space for what members are recommending. We'll be able to decongest most of the government buildings, and that area around the People's Park will not be utilized for the purposes of the office. And I think, therefore, Mheshimiwa Brian, we needed to understand that we have already apportioned money to that team to actually to finalize it. The other thing, Madam Speaker, I wanted to say is that members have been able to tell us as a committee that probably we did not come up with very clear recommendations, but you know, as a committee, there is a much that we can do. Members realize that I do not know why you want us to take up the responsibilities of the executive. We cannot do that, Madam Speaker, and we know members understand. Even when we bring you reports here, understand the levels to which we can inquire. We cannot be able to inquire and execute. When we say, spaces, Mheshimiwa Brian, just get this scholarly advice. This is scholarly advice, my brother. when Madam Speaker, we recommend space should be sought to accommodate these people, because conflict is because numbers have grown. It is up to the executive now to recommend to go and find space. They will have their way. They are the ones that are supposed to execute the recommendations. So members, I say that the recommendations that the committee has been able to come up are actually viable, they are enforceable, and that is the reason why we are having the harmony that is there now. Because remember that time there was a lot of noise, but after we have been able to engage with the stakeholders, both the taxis, both the Marutis and the long operators, there has been harmony. And I would be asking members, please, let us adopt this report, because it's a report that is self-explanatory. It's a report that has been well thought out. And Madam Speaker, where I am, understand that work is going to be done thoroughly. I said in this committee all through, I was here to interrogate these people here. I'm not trying to thumb chest, but I'm saying, Madam Speaker, believe in me, I do thorough job. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Point of order.
Proceed.
Madam Speaker,
To who?
I wish to bring to your attention that we don't have quorum for the House.
Do you have quorum or not? There is quorum, members. Let's proceed. Honorable Molinge.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to thank the chair and members of this committee for the good report. Madam Speaker, as a resident of Machakos Town, Machakos County, we have a very big problem, and the competition of space for the operation of the PSVs. Madam Speaker, over 20 years, when I was schooling in Mumbuni Secondary. Our country bus station, the space that was there at that time has not been expanded. And at that time, we were not having tukutukus, we were having matatus and a few taxis. But at the moment, we have a lot of people who have come to do business on taxis, matatus, and even motorbikes. But the Department of Transport has not heeded to the needs, and the tukutukus, matatus have been contributing to our own source revenue.
when they are not getting services. The service they will get in return, you pay annual fee to operate in Machakos town. So, Madam Speaker, there is a report. I will urge the Committee of Transport to take the report they have given us and the recommendations with seriousness. Because I remember, Madam Speaker, last year, the operator of Tuku, because of the competition, they had a fight with the circles of matatus. And because of the fight, one of the operators was injured, arrested, and in the process, you know what happened? A guy passed away because of that competition. So I will urge the committee, the way Honorable Kisila has alluded, to help the Department of Transport to create more spaces of operation, and this will again going to help to decongest our markets, because for instance we have a lot of hawkers in town. And giving an example of, if for instance tukutuku is flying from Kimutua, Katoloni to Machakos town, from Kalumoni to Machakos town, we can have a dropping point behind Machakos primarily. That will create another avenue for the smaller traders to move there, and also help to solve this problem. Madam Speaker, there is a time I had a meeting with the operators of tukutukus. The people targeted by the Kenya Kwanza government, that is bottom up, to raise them from motorbike tukutukus to become big operators of matatus. So the issue in hand, lack of enough space, lack of a conducive environment for the operators to operate. And the same challenge, Madam Speaker, is in the wholesalers market. We still have the same competition between the retailers market and the wholesalers market, and that is lack of proper planning and foreseeing what will happen today and what is going to happen tomorrow. So I support the report, but I will urge the committee to help the department. And one way to help the department is to have enough resources to decongest the town. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable PK and Honorable Mwanga, in that order, and then we end it there.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable DS, sorry for that, DS.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The issue which we are discussing, that has been tabled by our able committee. Madam Speaker, I am standing on issue on invitation 7.5, invitation of Honorable Rita Ndunge, CCM Transport, Roads, Roman 9, which the committee inquired on the issue of audio clip that was circulating. Madam Speaker, on that issue, the committee was asking to revert what the Prestige director and affirmed. That is on 7.1, 7.1, invitation of Machakos Matatu Owner Association, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, 7.6, 7.7, 7.8, 7.9, 7.10, 7.11, 7.12, 7.13, 7.14, 7.15, 7.16, 7.17, 7.18, 7.19, 7.20, 7.21, 7.22, 7.23, 7.24, 7.25, 7.26, 7.27, 7.28, 7.29, 7.30, 7.31, 7.32, 7.33, 7.34, 7.35, 7.36, 7.37, 7.38, 7.39, 7.40, 7.41, 7.42, 7.43, 7.44, 7.45, 7.46, 7.47, 7.48, 7.49, 7.50, 7.51, 7.52, 7.53, 7.54, 7.55, 7.56, 7.57, 7.58, 7.59, 7.60, 7.61, 7.62, 7.63, 7.64, 7.65, 7.66, 7.67, 7.68, 7.69, 7.70, 7.71, 7.72 and on issue of Mr. Clinton Wambua. And Madam Speaker, Roman 4, it reads, the director, the Prestige, he confirmed that he was aware of the audio clip that was going around. And he confirmed verbatimly that he had sent money via M-Pesa, 300,000, that is, and he splitted the money into two, that in cash, and 70,000 via M-Pesa. That was confirmation from the one Mr. Clinton. Madam Speaker, when the CCM for roads by that time, Honorable Rita Ndunge was asked about the same, she said that the matter was under investigation and she refuted to talk about that matter. Madam Speaker, in this case, we are talking here. This is not an issue of the one Mr. Clinton. It is an issue of the state. It is an issue of Machakos County government as a lunch. Madam Speaker, in this matter, the one Mr. Clinton is a state witness, is a government witness to confirm that he had sent money. Madam Speaker, the report is saying that the ESCC was investigating the matter, and the committee has not reported to us how far that matter has gone through the investigative agency. Madam Speaker, I want to ask the committee, or through your direction, that a follow-up letter be done to the ESCC. We can get up to that issue so that now...
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Which order?
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm standing on a point of order, study order number 38, statement of facts. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member PK, Mheshimiwa Peter Kilonzo, is discussing a matter that is not within this report. I think the committee was on a mission to establish on the grievances that were brought between the matatu and the tuk-tuks. Madam Speaker, the issue of the matter of Rita Ndunge and the matatu, that is Clinton Wambua, is a different matter from the matter we are discussing here in the House, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Member to bring that member here, to bring that matter here in the floor of the House when we are discussing a different matter? So I'm advising that he restrained himself from discussing the that is already under investigations with ESCC, and we concentrate on the report on the table. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And for that matter, you know, when you just wake up and you find people are discussing matter and you want to contribute without facts, those are the responses which we get. Honorable Felix, you can go to the report. That is 7.2, page 10, Roman 4. I'm factual. I'm not fictitious. So, Madam Speaker, I was on that matter that we know we have relevant laws on issues of Limitation of Actions Act that gives us a time frame for matters, and criminal matters have no time bar. Madam Speaker, may that matter be investigated and also be tabled in this House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I also direct that that matter be investigated and tabled before this Honorable Court. This Honorable House. Thank you. Let's proceed. Honorable Maeke, Honorable Mbula. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the committee did a good job to call the members. However, I've looked at the people who have signed and adopted the committee. They are 7 out of 13, so I believe they are also in agreement with the reports, because most of the members contributing also are part of the committee, but they have not signed as adoption. However, However, Madam Speaker, as Mheshimiwa Chair Transport Mwoki has indicated, I'm drawn to the word about the Mashimo. And Madam Speaker, I want to say that there is a need for proper looking into this matter, especially from the Department of Transport. I remember since 1952, we've been having the Mashimo for Kemutua and Kalama people. But it was given until today, the people of Kemutua. If you remember, if you've been traveling through that place and Kalama eternity, that route or that allocation has been there since 1952. My great-grandfathers and mothers used that place. But somebody came, and because they want to allocate to the highest bidder, as it has been indicated from the report, that money has been exchanging hands in favor of whoever is supposed to be favored. I want to say that, Madam Speaker, even as we stand now, we are forced to have people of Kalama get tuk-tuks from the hospital. We don't even have a specific place. When I raised the matter before with the concerned, it is all the reason that the committee has put down here. So my recommendation would be, we are growing as a county, and the population is also going up. Let's look for alternatives. Let's look for solution to last, because you're going to find that even on Saturdays and on Fridays, when we are starting a lot of building and piling up of jams, especially from the mortuary to the town. And I believe in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, Machakos will become notorious. So we need planning, even if it means we reroute some of the vehicles plying the water route, and they pass maybe through Mua, they go connect at Katumani. We need a lot of bypasses so that we decongest our town. So I agree with the report, and I also say, because as Mheshimiwa PK has put it clear, let's not bury the whole issue under the sun. We know there was a lot of public outcry, there was a lot of things, and probably when this report was to come in the House, we really needed to that issue of Mashimo become addressed, whether it was true, whether it was allegation, because I believe it was an issue that even made the CCM, then transport, being suspended. However, we thank the governor because she has been reinstated and she has gone to the Department of Irrigation and Water. So we really need to have conclusive reports so that somebody will not be incriminated by the cartels, or somebody will not incriminate the cartel, so that our report should be conclusive and also be good. However, I can say the report is well articulated and well researched, and also thank you called the victims. And I believe you should also make recommendation, because if somebody is self-incriminating and saying that I gave out 150,000 as proceedings of corruption, you should have indicated also that person to the relevant ESCC or the relevant bodies, because we cannot arrest. But if somebody is confessing before a committee and says I gave out this as a corruption, it should be also taken, because when it comes to matters of corruption, it is two-way. The giver and the receiver are equally guilty. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the report.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable DS, sorry, I looked again.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think debate in this house has become so interesting, such that the honorable member, like honorable member for Mutituni, though he has left, is ready with a statement, a follow-up statement on this implementation of this report, a report which has not even been adopted by or approved by the House. is ready with a statement, including our Honorable Peter Kilonzo, who is also asking the committee to go to the ESCC and ascertain the progress of such an investigative body. I think, Madam Speaker, as announced, we only need to go as per our terms, not just digging so hard. I think we are trying to dig so hard, because when we go to the issues of ESCC, if a matter is being dealt with the ESCC, I think the Assembly has got too little to do with such matters. Honorable Speaker, back to the report, I would say that this committee has done a wonderful job. It has indicated all the areas that the executive should look into, including quoting and the acts that are in place to take care of our matatu operators and also getting enough space for the same. So I think that's the best the committee could do, and I applaud them for a work well done. Honorable Speaker, many speakers today have indicated the issue of lapse or late submissions of reports and informations. It is true, Madam Speaker, that even the report we are dealing with right now still seems also to have taken a lot of time. It is an area as an oversight body that needs to be looked into. Madam Speaker, mentioning the executive and those other bodies, you will realize that we are sitting in an assembly that has never received any financial statements from CASIB. Today is 2026. Since 2023, this assembly has never debated on financial statements of this assembly. It is so unfortunate, and yet we expect and want the other teams or departments to be accurate and submit such documents on time. I think it is the high time, Madam Speaker, as an house, as we oversight others, let us make sure we are also following the rule of law and all laid down structures, Honorable Speaker. We are in an house that again has even failed to honor court orders that were brought by some members here in the that were served by some members in this house. So, Madam Speaker, I think oversight will need to start from ourselves here, because at some point we might, Madam Speaker, we might reach a point where others will not.
Honorable Member.
Might reach a point where the other bodies will not.
I find the Honorable Member that is on the floor, and I think I want to remind the Honorable Member that is on the floor that is a chair of chairs, is a man of ranking, is a man that sits in a very high committee, the Committee of Liaison. And when you start, Mheshimiwa Diaz, when you start pulling such issues here, then you are unatuvunja roho. Those issues that you are bringing up here, I did say earlier on, those issues can be canvassed elsewhere. The motion that is on the floor, and is actually a report that is presented by the Chairman Committee on Transport, Roads and Housing. And how I wish, yes, we could just confine ourselves to that, so that we keep the spirit of this house the way it has been. Realize when there is this new leadership, the house has become very robust. I do not want a situation where the house is dragged in those dungeon days, where people now start bringing in issues here when the debate is live. Madam Speaker, I wish I would be asking the Mheshimiwa DS, those issues can be done elsewhere. Matters, of course, should be taken to court. This is not a court. This is a plenary session where we approve reports, of the committee. If you are dissatisfied in what is taken in the place in the court, Mheshimiwa DS, please don't bring them here. Let them not find their way here. Many issues that we should have raised in here, but we cannot bring here because here is a preserve of something, the debate that is on the floor. Let us be orderly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think this is the only platform that I got from my residents from Kalakala, Honorable Ngunga.
Honorable, I'm guiding. I'm saying restrict yourself to the matters before the House. Any other matter is ultra-vires.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think on the issue of the report, I had done my submissions, Madam Speaker, that the committee the committee did well on its recommendations, and the executive should just follow those recommendations without the assembly doing a lot of things. I think the recommendations are okay, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Mbula. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to congratulate the chairman of this committee. He has actually done a very, very good report. How I wish I was a member of that committee. This issue should have come up long time ago. But it's just very, very interesting that transport started long time ago, before some of us were born. We had buses, then we had matatus, and what is most shocking is, Madam Speaker, that space we have transportation today is the same space I saw in 1950s. I used to come to Machakos in those cracked buses, and that was the stage. It was the same space. It was the same place. So one wonders, and we moving? Is the count not moving? Because all this is fight between space, fight between hawkers, buses, matatus, do this, and everyone who wants to make a coin in this Machakos area. And we cannot blame them. We can only wonder and try to see whether the system can wake up and look above where we are and give space to all these transporters. We've been in Machakos for quite a long time. We found space. Spaces have been occupied. How? You don't know. And the people are struggling for space, and people are helping us move from space to space. It seems they have no place there, and they just fight. Honorable Speaker, many of us pass there, and you know how hectic it is. Even getting into that kiwanja is too much for you. But because you have no other choice, you have to go there. Makangas come scrabbling for you. There is no lining up, and it is just for those who have strength and those who can make it. So my question and maybe my view is, can the department, the concerned department, give these people space, knowing that they do great jobs? Because if we have no matatus, then we can't move. You cannot walk from Machakos to Tala, you cannot walk from Machakos to Yatta, and so we need the space, and we need a dignified place. Machakos has a lot of land around, and I think, Honorable Chair, you need to engage the department concerned. If you want to know, come, I'll show you space. Then you take them there, and you get them. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. The mover, before the mover says something, I just want to say something concerning the matters Honorable Diaz is trying to introduce to this House concerning court orders. Honorable Diaz, what you are trying to do is just to bring matters that are ultra-vires before the House. And what ultra-vires matters will do will just bring incitement in the House, imputing improper motives on the person of the Speaker. What will happen next is people will become violent and chaotic, and then I'll now suspend members. Do you want something like that to happen? I'm sure you don't. So let's not introduce matters that can cause chaos. We said we live in peace and we work in peace. But attacking one another is not proper. Even attacking one another outside there when you are having rallies, it's very improper. It's not right. Let's just proceed with the work that has brought us into this House without imputing any improper motive on any one of us, including the Speaker, the character of the Speaker. Thank you, members. May I call upon the chairperson to now reply?
Madam Speaker, Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to reply to this. And maybe I should start by saying proper prior planning promotes peak performance. I used to use this particular bus park, the Masako bus park, early 80s when I went to school, Mboni. And I wonder my classmate, D is not here, he has just left. And that bus park had just a few buses. Akamba bus service, Mudwani and I don't know Haraka, they were just a few. But I can't say this without expounding on the need of planning again. Because I want to say this bus park probably was done in the 50s. Then they had planned properly. But plan has got a limit of time. The limit of this particular bus has already been realized, and that is now why we would want to look beyond and maybe come up with other areas where we can be or can be designated as picking and dropping points for the new upcoming transport modes. Then there were no matatus, then there were no pikipikis, then there was no non-motorized, or they were few, that is the pedestrians and the like. This time round, we need to look at that and maybe come up with other areas that we can do that business. I wanted to say, yes, Mheshimiwa Brian asked, why didn't we recommend a place or a particular area, Madam Speaker? And I would want to say, maybe it is not our duty to tell the executive, this is the area. The areas that can be used as parking belongs to the executive. We can just tell them, provide these more spaces. But we cannot tell them we want you to do this there or there, because they could be having other plans for those areas. We just need to tell them we need more spaces for the picking and dropping areas. It is up to them to come up with them. Now, about the other, there's somebody who asked about the houses. The twin building there, yes, we have committed 139 million shillings. And even not only for that particular house, building, even for the other buildings, the governor's building, the speaker's building, to be done and completed so that they are ready for occupancy. I also wanted to answer Mheshimiwa Joanna that there's an issue here. You say something and then you leave. Yes, this particular matatus have been given only 16 kilometers from the CBD of Machakos. That is the tuk-tuks and the, what are they called? The tuk-tuks and the marutis. They only can ply 16 kilometers from the CBD. Small distances. And that one is already there. And it is in this report. It means that he never read. And if he did, he didn't read it quite well. Yes, he didn't internalize it. It is already there. So I'm just trying to say, yes, if only you read this, or if only you had read that, you would not ask me. I would be having the answer. On the issue of the matatus, tuk-tuks, what Mamoa or the bigger operators are saying, let the Mamoas, not Mamoa, but the tuk-tuks and the marutis don't ply the water route, for example. Nairobi, because that is where the competition now is. When they are designated as taxis, or they are registered as taxis, yet they are going all the way to water, they are going to Nairobi, they are going to Kitui, that is where the competition is. If only they can restrict themselves to the 16 kilometers they are given within the law. The issue of the mashimo, to me, is a jargon in the trade. It does not bring a lot of issues to me. Every trade or profession, you will find that particular area. They have their own jargon. And when they use that title or name or whatever it is, that is there. And we should not be brought to discuss whatever it means more than what it has. We should just pick the meaning from what they said and finalize it at that. About the issues of that building, last week, and Mheshimiwa Joseph Mulinge has left. I was with him in one of the offices last week. We met there, and somehow, I don't know how it came, and I told the people in the office there, you people, very soon you will be moving you to that new building. And the lady was like, no, we don't want to go there and all that. Human beings don't like change. And that is the problem here.
Yes.
Had I got the authority, I would move them yesterday because I know what planning is all about. We need to free these buildings for other uses. We need to free the spaces for other uses. We need a single stop kind of a shop. You go there, you wanted to go to the Ministry of Water, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of each other, you can go only one day and do all that one at one point. That is what I'm talking about. We want to finish up that. They call it, they call it a thin, tall building. That's what they call it. But maybe with time we'll change the name to be maybe the headquarters, yes, or something like that. But the issue is we need to finish the building. We need to move all our departments in one position, and such we will be able to do better than we are doing now. So with that, Madam Speaker, I would say I'm grateful to the members who have contributed to this. I'm very much grateful and thankful to the members who have seen it possible or seen it positive to say, yes, my committee has done a good job. And we endeavor to do even better, given the chance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Good job. I now put the question that this Assembly adopts the report, adopts the Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee inquiry report on the statement regarding grievances of Machakos Matatu operators tabled in the Assembly on Wednesday, 16th July 2025. As many are of the opinion, say aye. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 22nd July 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you, members. See you then.